Glitch
All right,
in the Matrix.
Everybody sees me walking. I'm walking. Look. This plane isn't moving. It's not moving. But it sounds like it's moving.
Listen, I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist, but that is the sun going down over there. Am I correct about that? Now look at this. Directly behind me. What is that? I'm not a flat earther by any means, but that and that can't both be the sun. So what the hell is happening? There's nothing moving behind those clouds. It's just a big bright ball. And then that's the sun going down in the west by the ocean. So what the fuck?
Everybody knows something's up. Everybody knows. That is not normal. Everyone is looking up, wondering why the sky is split. Look. Sky is broken. And everybody knows something's fishy, don't you? It's fishy, ain't it?
You know, that's the first time I ever seen this.
That's right. It's fishy.
So this thing fell in a neighborhood last night. Luckily it missed all the houses and cars and people. Everyone was safe. Does anyone know what it is?
Never seen something like this. There's like tens of thousands of these reflective objects in the air. I thought they were birds at first, but looking closer, it's literally just these reflective objects. What is this? It's all coming closer here, so I'm gonna get out of here.
You gotta see this. Something flies out of that crater on the moon and it leaves. Just take a look. Look at this thing. There is something there. It flew out of that crater and it starts skeet-scatting shab-dabbing. It gets moving. It's moving fast, baby cakes. Now I've got another version of that where it's even bigger and you can see whatever's flying a little clearer. But first, the moon has always been a little suspicious as far as I'm concerned. People for decades, including scientists, have suspected that the moon could be hollow and possibly some kind of ancient space station that's been watching us here on Earth for centuries, heck, more than centuries, tens of thousands of years. And that would explain all the videos of stuff flying around the moon. And as I promised, here's that original video, but bigger. You can see this thing taking off, flying out of that crater. Where's it going? But better yet, where's it from and who's flying it, baby?
New crop circle just dropped, people. This has just appeared in an undisclosed location, and looking at the photo so far, there's no sort of disturbance. This thing is like perfectly laid. There's no disturbance of any tracks or trails walked through. It looks kind of cool. Let's dive into this puppy a little bit. We have 8 precise teardrop rays stretched from a central woven circle. Silent, symmetrical, and absolutely stunning. Look at that, mate. Beautiful. Now, what if I told you 3,800 years ago, Sumerians carved this symbol? Now, look at this beautiful piece of iconography, okay? A radial 8-pointed star atop a sacred altar worshipped by priests and presided over by the god of Shamash. Look at that, mate. 8-pointed star. Once again, we have an 8-pointed star of Inanna Ishtar. Here, alongside with a solar disk of her brother Shamash and the crescent moon of her father Sin on a boundary stone of Meli Shipak II, dating to the 12th century BCE. There we go. Look, we've got the one on the right, one on the left. Now, if we look at this crop circle formation again, we got a perfect center with beautiful 8 radial drop-like rays protruding outwards. Now, looking at this just for face value, again we got these beautiful circular whooshed formations in each of these radial areas here. There's no visible trample marks of cutting corners or anything of that nature. Woven in the middle, which is beautiful. Look at that, mate. Now, the Sumerians carved these into boundary stones called kuduru, which would be a star with a central eye, a sun disk with a ripple effect. They weren't just decorative, these are markers of divine presence. These were placed on the land, kind of like a cosmic GPS beacon, mate. Now, there's been a few crop circles as of recent that have been mowed and destroyed, but a lot of these do have lots of links to Sumeria, okay? Now, here's a little bit of a breakdown on ChatGPT as well. 8-pointed radial star, star of Ishtar, sun disk, Shemesh symbol, 8 radial flames, droplet projections on the crop circle section. Central disk with detailing, often shown on a pedestal, concentric, etched, woven central circle in a crop. Symbol above altar or throne, represented divine authority or transmission. Symbol placed directly on earth is what the crop circle is. Associated with cosmic law, Shamash, god of justice, sun, illumination. Possible reference to cosmic or moral cycle. The woven center may represent the veil or boundary between realms, a common theme in Sumerian cosmology where the gods operate behind the veil of the heavens, right? In sacred geometry, a woven center equals torus field, dimensional crossover point. What? This is echoed in the carved, rippled or layered circle in the kuduru as well, showing divine or dimensional signature. There you have it, mate. This is just surface level stuff, but again, I'm waiting for the location to be revealed, and if it does, and we find out that it's kind of closer to home, I will take my little butt and go over there and inspect this bad boy, mate. But what a beautiful design, mate. And the ancient iconography keeps coming back recently. There's so many more ancient symbols like the Celtic knot, loads of Sumerian stuff, some even Arabic as well, on just all sorts of different things happening right now. Beautiful. What do you guys think?
Underground bonkers. Let's go. It's a bit scary. Oh my God, go for miles. Come on.
Ah, there must be rats and shits and...
Ah, it's massive, look. Flipping out. It's a little scary, thanks. Yeah. What's the way out?
We actually found it. I didn't think we'd find this cave, but here it is. Dungeon. I know, who built it? Yeah. What?
No way.
Alright, so we have a choice to either keep going on this level or to go up.
Or to
the spiral
go up?
staircase. Whoever made the staircase knew what they were doing. Dude, the elevator. Holy crap. Dude, it sounds like there's power to it or something. What? Whoa, dude, I can see a platform way up.
Look at how many tunnels are below Walmart and the links to the CIA, hence the expensive security systems. They're going to be used in the future as holding centers. That's been planned from the start of Walmart. Now, Uncle Max has been holding back on everybody, but the main hub of all of these tunnels is in the Kansas City area. So if you go to places like Sugar Creek off the 291, if you go out there to the CDC Center, they got a giant post office as well, but that's actually the CIA headquarters for all the Walmart underground tunnels. So the main gathering point is the Midwest, and all of the stores, it's like a big interwebs of tunnels, but underground. And that's, you think the CIA headquarters is in Langley, Virginia? I'm sorry, boys and girls, but it's not. It's at Hunt Midwest. And the Kansas City Chiefs are a disguise. They're a facade. They're part of the problem. They're part of it. This is all an inner working network of tunnels throughout the United States. They've spent billions and trillions to dig all these tunnels and keep them a secret.
Dude, what is that? 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 Dude, what is that?
Here are some close-up and clear trail camera captures of the so-called Dogman. However, these ones remain rather classified, with little to no background information at all. All we know is a hunter set up a trail camera deep in the forest in the winter. He set the camera up to capture wildlife and aid him in his hunts, which is what these cameras are usually used for. But instead of capturing normal wildlife, one day while he was looking back through his captures, this was seen. The motion and heat activated camera captured what looks to be a dogman, a mix between a dog and a human. The creature has dark, realistic fur with pointed ears and sharp, canine-like teeth. The photos are insanely clear, which is the main reason they landed on today's list. I mean, we can see every single detail. This must have been a super high-quality trail camera. Some of the clearest photos of a potential dogman for sure. They were highlighted in mid-January of this year, but it's believed they come from sometime in 2024. The first shot gives us a clear look at its face and upper body from the front. And the second one shows it from behind. If you don't know, the dogman is typically described as a bipedal creature, with the body of a muscular man and the head of a wolf or large dog. Unlike Bigfoot, which often carries a mysterious or even peaceful air, the dogman is often associated with aggression, intimidation, and predatory behavior. That's probably why it's gaining so much popularity and people are starting to talk about it more. And also because it's been captured more often. But if these trail camera captures are indeed real, they're some of the closest and clearest evidence of the Dogman ever.
Aí, pessoal, suposto lobisomem aqui de Petrolina, ó, no caminho de Pedrinha. Tá vendo aí? Muitas pessoas dizem que é lenda, que não existe. Tô mostrando aí pra vocês aí, que é a pura verdade, ó.
É, olha as patas como é diferente, piada.
O bicho é muito feio. Peludo, ó. Até o pelo dele é diferente. Tá cheio de morotó. Você vê que é bicho de outro mundo, que nem os cachorros, nem os urubus, nem cachorro tá comendo a carniça dele. É porque tá fedendo, viu? E a pele dele é uma pele como se fosse de humano, a carne. É grande. Aí ele aí, ó.
Hey, go on here with all that. Go on over there with all that. Go. I'm not even in the mood today. Get away.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Go.
What are you talking about?
Shit.
What are you talking about?
Seth, come on over here.
You'll never guess what this actually means, and the method is downright horrifying. Before I really get into it, all these orbs you see are actually demons, and yeah, I'll prove it in a minute because a massive ritual had just taken place right here. Which is why in the same photo shoot they had a bed and an altar. This right here, and this and this and that. This is why you should not mess around with the music industry. But yes, for stars, it's Michelle Amy, Travis Scott. She has been a high-level witch for the music industry for decades. And notice they're in a bed. That's the common theme. And yes, unfortunately, this is a real photo shoot, not CGI, not AI. The music industry has this thing where they have to show you when they're possessed by demons. There's actually a right in the 30-second where you have to open yourself up to enlightened masters, which are demons. Pay attention to this for 1 minute, and no, I'm not making anything up. I've been studying the occult and reading their books for 14 years. The reason the spheres are in the air, the demons, is because a massive ritual had taken place. If you look at this album cover, blood, sugar, something, magic. And also, if you look, the magic is spelled with a K. It's only spelled that way by the initiated or people who know the power of magic. Why doesn't he have anything on? Shirts, hoodies, socks, trying to be subtle. Do y'all know what a succubus is? A succubus is a female demon that comes down to do something with men. Do you know what an incubus is? It's a male demon that does the same thing. And this was shown by the bed in the shape of an altar. All the spheres and the lack of fabrics. If you could see what it looked like around you when you're listening to certain music, you would see these everywhere. Beware.
What if the world ended and they just never told us? What if the century we call the 1600s wasn't just forgotten? It was washed away. Because when you look closely, something doesn't add up. Between 1600 and 1700, we find traces of chaos. Not in headlines, those didn't exist, but in fragments. England, 1607, a wall of water floods the Bristol Canal, killing over 2,000. They called it a storm, but modern experts say it moved like a tsunami. The Netherlands, repeated floods overwhelmed dikes that had held for centuries. Whole towns are lost, no rebuild, no records. China and Southeast Asia, rivers change course, entire cities disappear, famine and disease follow. India, Mughal records go dark, their empire falters, crops fail, and no one writes. Why? Russia, the time of troubles, population collapses, floods, famine, plagues, followed by silence. North America, indigenous speak of sky waters and earth rivers that buried everything, not just washed, but swallowed. Now ask yourself, why are so many cities across continents built on top of old ones? Why do we see windows underground, doors half buried, roads raised above the original street line. Why are excavated basements built with exterior architecture? They didn't build underground. They were buried. The mud wasn't a part of the design. It was a part of the event. What happens after a flood this big? You reset. You repopulate the empty world. You send out orphan trains. You rename cities, and you rewrite the timelines. And you never mention what came before. The 1600s weren't just forgotten. They were intentionally buried. Physically, culturally, historically. And what follows? A rewritten narrative, a new architecture, a century of world fairs and demolitions, and hundreds of thousands of parentless children shipped across continents to fill the silence. So no, maybe there was no great flood in a single day, but there was a flood, a century-mile-wide one, made of water, of mud, and of memory. And when it was over, the old world was gone, and the new one we live in now was built on top of its bones.
Pretty intriguing. As I'm standing up here, I looked across, and there's another ruin over there. So let's check out this one last spot, and then looks like we'll probably have to climb up that. The final site I'm talking about was something I saw while flying the drone for the other two areas. It was just a short ways further. It was mostly destroyed, but I stood there for quite a while, trying to figure out what it had been. My main question was, why were there these two little walls here? The only logical theory I could come up with was that a platform might have stretched across the center crack, creating flat space for a larger building on top. I don't think we'll ever know because it's all, just been eroded out here and washed down to the bottom of the canyon probably. I'm going to eat a quick snack and then let's go check out that other spot over there. So it's a fairly narrow ledge. The best way, I think, to traverse it, particularly if you're as tall as me, is the unceremonious bottom scoot.
You guys, we are now in the time of prophecy. It just went biblical in China, y'all. What in the Atlantis 2.0 is going on here? Did you guys hear what happened to China, y'all? China, like whole cities are lit. So remember when we talked about that these weather anomalies were popping up out of nowhere and nobody was even seeing them on the radar? Well, this is the same thing that just took place in China. I'm talking about places submerged with up to 36 feet of water. Y'all saw the beginning clip of this, y'all. Towers are completely underwater. There have been a reported over 80,000 people that have been impacted by this. Of course, there are some tragedies. Folks are saying people are missing. I mean, look at this, y'all. And this right here is how you know the storm was really bad, because you have the bridges in China overflowing with water. Y'all, there's no cap on the bridges. How is this even possible, y'all? Why does it feel like we're watching like a whole civilization being, huh? You know what I'm saying? China is one of the most ancient places on earth. This is where we used to be. It is full of ley lines, ancient technology, sacred temples, y'all. We're watching a whole reset happening in China, y'all. They're calling this the flood of the century. It has broken records. Wow. Do you guys think you can ever rebuild from something like this? I mean, this is somebody's home, y'all. And that right there is also somebody's home. Wow. Do y'all see how the weather is popping off everywhere? Like, who asked for this? I mean, of course we're like, the earth does what it wants, but this right here is crazy, man. You can't do nothing about it. You could only watch it. I hope you guys are paying attention, because this is not just about climate change, y'all. There's a shift within the mist. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial, both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite. You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, in this year alone, by an average 39%. And I've just received word that our forces have won a major victory. The underground terrorist network has been destroyed here on the West Coast. We are off crisis alert. The situation is normal again.
How you doing, boys? I didn't know you'd been recruited. Welcome aboard.
Earth is our stepping stone for a
You
great...
know, you boys really should have dressed for the party. Now you can afford it.
Please fucking tell me how nobody else is talking about AGI. Nobody. I have friends in very high up places. Very, very high up places, okay? Not connected to one another. To give you perspective, one of my friends has had lunch with practically every president, okay? Very good friends with directors of 3-letter agencies. The other one is training these agencies, okay? Both give me a phone call the other day and they go, hey buddy. I'm like, what's up? They're like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. What's up? Well, we're here to ruin your day, Marcel, because we think AGI is going to be done in 6 months. AI safety is so shit that if AGI comes out in 6 months, let me paint a picture for you, baby. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Power grid goes out. Pentagon predicts 94% of the population dead if the power grid goes out within 30 days. Now, let's just say you're part of the 6%. You live on a farm or some shit. AI, and this is fucking Grok. Go talk to Grok AI and ask it what would happen in this scenario, okay? Grok AI says it would literally use our drones, our fucking missiles, nukes, whatever the fuck it wants. Think about Terminator, okay? Judgment Day, 2029. This is happening before then. It's crazy. We're all gonna get and there's only one way to fix this. Everybody talks about it and slows these goddamn companies down. They're racing against one another to end the fucking world. Please share this. It's not even a fucking joke.
Can someone please explain to me why Celine Dion has a children's clothing label where all the photos look like the children are being or have been abused, and why they're so satanic in nature and so uncomfortable with the design? Like, I'm having a really hard time understanding how the fact that this has gone on for 6 years. I went to their Instagram and I'm just finding photo after photo, not to mention things like this: don't talk, just kiss. Like making children wear really uncomfortable designs and then promoting Pride Month. Remember, this is a children's clothing label. Like, and then looking at how Celine Dion looks now here in 2025, kind of putting it all together, and like, I didn't realize the shoe was on that side. What do you guys think about all this? Should we be worried? And please tell me you're not buying this for your children.